Hello and welcome to day 7. You've made it, the final day of your course, so brilliant. Today we're going to be creating your action plan for more success. Your challenge for day 6 was to look at those 9 motivators to work out which ones feel more motivating for you, which ones give you that energy, that sense of happiness based on your definition of success. And then to start writing, drawing your definition of success to include wealth, to include health, and a description of those motivators so that you can define exactly what success means on your terms, not based on what somebody else's terms are or a perception of somebody else's success. And here was my definition just to help you. Now you may ask, should my definition look like that? That's up to you. Part of this course is to help you to learn to trust your own intuition, to trust yourself. It's your life, it's your definition of success. So if your definition looks like this, great. If it looks different, great. Whether you want to write it, type it, draw it, paint it, write a song about it, take photographs, whatever your thing is, if it works for you, go for it. And remember, there is no such thing as failure, only feedback. So if it's not working, try something else. But most importantly, learn to trust yourself. So, your homework was also to create a definition of success. And that's your destination, so where you want to get to. And today we're going to be working out the starting point, so that you can then start to close that gap, to navigate your way to more success. So far we have learned how our thoughts, our feelings and our actions create our outcomes, and we've learned how to take more control over that, to step in when our subconscious is perhaps trying to get us to do it an old way, so we can retrain it, because we've learned that we can influence our thoughts, our feelings and our actions to create the outcomes that are better for us and start creating the outcomes that we want. And so we've also defined what success looks like, and then we're going to be creating our action plans for more success. And here's how we're going to do that. We've got the 9 motivators. So from your challenge yesterday, you would have picked out the ones that are most motivating for you. And today we're going to use that same gauge of the motivators, but work out what's going on for us right now. So where we are right now, we know where we want to be, and we can start to close that gaps by working out where we are and the actions that we need to put in place. So let's go through each of these in turn. If you want to pause the video, then do so and pick up when you're ready. But let's go through them first and I'll show you how to do this. So for each of these motivators, we're going to go through it. So for defender, at work, I feel safe. Now we know from yesterday the defender wants to feel safe, secure, certain about their work. Now if you feel that, then give it a 10. So your score out of 10 will be a 10. If you feel that you don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, you don't have that certainty in your work, maybe you'll score it a 1. Or maybe you'll score it a 3. Or maybe you'll score it a 5 because you're somewhere in the middle. The score is your number. Your score of 8 is different to my score of 8. Your score of 3 is different to my score of 3. So give it the number that feels right for you. Again, just learn to trust yourself with that. Moving on to friend. So at work, I feel involved. So if you feel involved and you feel fully involved, give it a 10. If you feel not at all involved, compared to what you want to be, if you don't feel that you're involved at all, then give that a 1. And again, you may be somewhere in between. The star wants to feel valued. So if in your work you feel highly valued, give it a 10. If you don't feel valued at all, give it a 1. The director is motivated by being in charge. So at work, I feel in charge. If you feel in charge, to the level that you want to be in charge, give it a 10. If you don't feel that you're in charge at all, then give that 1. And again, that's compared to how you want to be. Builder, about being financially rewarded. So if you feel financially rewarded for your work, then give that a 10. If you don't feel financially rewarded for your work, give that a 1. The expert, if you feel you can demonstrate your expertise fully, give that a 10. And if you don't feel you're able to demonstrate your expertise, give that a 1. The creator, if you feel that you can innovate at work fully, give that a 10. And if you feel unable to innovate at all at work, give that a 1. The spirit, if you feel free to the level that you want to be free at work, give that a 10. And if you don't feel that you can be free at work, give it a 1. And finally, the searcher, if you feel you can make a difference, the difference that you want to make at work, give that a 10. And if you don't feel you can make a difference at all, give it a 1. Okay, so you may want to pause that, go through that, look at it. You can go back it again, you can rub them out, start again. That's okay. No such thing as failure. So once you've done that, we'll continue. And we're going to use the defender, the first one, as an example. So if you've scored, I feel safe, as an 8, there's probably no action that you need to take. 8's a great score, what we would say is optimal. So there's probably no action that you need to take right now to increase that feeling of safety and security. But if you scored it a 3 out of 10, you definitely need to take some more actions around that, because that will help you to feel that you've got more of that success that you want. So let's imagine you scored that a 3, a 5, whatever it is, and let's have a look at the action you take. So we know the defender wants to feel safe, to feel certain, and to feel secure. So to work out the action to take, ask yourself, what is it that I need? What do I need to feel certain, to feel safe? So what do I need to feel safe and to feel more certain? So for example, you may feel that having more information will help you to feel safe and more certain. You may feel that understanding the plan or finding out if there's a certain process that you're expected to use or that somebody else has used in the past that's worked well will give you more of that feeling of safety and certainty. That's going to be your action. And that's the defender motivator. Now let's run through the rest. So we know that a friend wants to feel connected, they want to feel involved and that they belong. So if you scored friend with a low score, then be a friend. Reach out, ask to be involved and support other people. The way to feel involved is to actually get more involved, to offer that friendship, to offer that involvement, to reach out, to support other people. So where can you do that? Just start with the smallest, simplest place of and person of where you can do that. The star. So we know the star wants to feel valued, to feel recognised and to feel admired by that group of people that they want to admire them. So work on your visibility by contributing to more high-profile projects. Now I know from all the work that I have done across the UK that star quite often is low in many people's profile, i.e. it's not a top motivator for them, and yet they want to feel valued. It's really important for us. So this bit of working on your visibility and by working on high-profile projects may be intimidating for you. So scale it down. Take it down to 1/10 of that and go, where could you just increase your visibility maybe to one person, maybe your manager, and to get involved in some of the projects that your manager is doing because they're high profile to your manager. If that's the person that you want to value you, to recognise and admire you, and very often it is in our work. The director. So we know the director wants to be in charge, to have responsibility and to have more influence. So if this is for you, request more responsibility. So for example, you may ask to be part of a project team, to manage part of that, to have responsibility for part of the project or a small project all of your own. So ask, request more responsibility. Sorry, it's jumping. The builder. So we know the builder wants tangible measures of success and especially money. So if this is for you, if you want not just a fair level of remuneration, and not just to be well paid, but to be really well paid, really well rewarded, then set your own targets. Align those to the organisation's targets so that you're meeting the organisation's targets as you're meeting yours, so it's a win-win. And then set your own rewards. So incentivise yourself to achieve them so that you're more likely to achieve the organisations, or negotiate some small rewards. Have a chat with your manager and go, if I achieve this, and if I get that, and if I can get this, what if we could have a bit of something, make it a bit more of a game, make it more interesting? It may be something like a bottle of wine, or some tickets to the cinema, or a meal, or something. It doesn't have to be huge. The key for the builder is it's tangible. It's something you can touch and see and feel, something you can compete for, and something you're going to get that sense of accomplishment once you've achieved it. The expert. We know the expert wants to learn, to use, to share, to demonstrate their knowledge. So if you don't have a personal development plan, create your own personal development plan. And I know that sometimes in organisations, there is a development plan, but there's also a pressure to achieve what's on that plan. And there may be certain things that you want to actually learn, but you don't want them going on the official development plan. So create your own. Create your own development plan, and then look for more training opportunities, including mentoring. There's so much training out there. There are so many online videos, YouTube, TED Talks. There's so much out there for you to create your own personal development plan. Don't allow that to be in someone else's hands. If this is important to you, to learn to use your knowledge, and quite often this is important in terms of getting more authority, responsibility, money, reward, recognition, create your own plan, go out there, just spend a few hours a week Googling, learning, whatever it is. The creator wants to innovate and to problem solve, and remembering these are never been thought of before, having some fun playing with different ideas. So find opportunities to problem solve by joining some kind of think tank or some other group in your organisation. It might be a culture club, it might be a well-being forum, it could be all sorts of things, but have a look around. If it doesn't exist and you've got an idea, find some like-minded people, see if you can get involved, set something up, give it a go. The spirit. The spirit wants freedom and wants independence. If this is a high motivator for you, if you're feeling that, then notice where you feel constrained at work and decide, so what do you want, what don't you want? I feel constrained here. Is that okay in terms of my overall objectives, or does it really grate on me, in which case I don't want it? But actually, here I get more freedom. And one thing I will say with the spirit is you may want the freedom, but are you demonstrating that you're doing what's required to do? Are you communicating that you're doing it? Then people will leave you alone to get on with it. So work out where you feel constrained, what you do want, what you don't want, but also to gain that autonomy, to gain that trust, communicate more, demonstrate you're on it, so people will leave you alone. And then finally, the searcher. We know the searcher wants to make a difference. We know the searcher wants to have work that is purposeful and meaningful. So ask why, ask what the end goal looks like, ask why are we doing this, what are we trying to achieve, and get clear on what a good result looks like. It's really hard to make a difference when you're not sure what difference looks like, and then we get frustrated. So if you're not clear, ask, what does good look like for you? How will we know when we've got there? What are you expecting of me? Because then you can deliver it and get that sense of making a difference and get the feedback that energises searchers. So here we are. Your day 7 challenge, the final one, is now write down those satisfaction scores for your top 2 or 3 motivators. So if, for example, you had Defender as a top motivator, you may have scored it a 3 or an 8. Let's say you have Expert, or Searcher. Write down your satisfaction score for those. Create your action plan using the video, the slides, as your kind of prompt of the kind of things that each motivator is looking for. And then just write down 5, 10, 15, however many ideas you want, just to come up with some ideas and then hone those down to the ideas that are going to take you maybe furthest towards your success, or maybe the ones that are going to get you there quickest, or the easiest ones. So pick some actions that are easier, quick, or will get you as far as you can go. And that's going to be your action plan to navigate your way to more success based on your definition of success. So amazing, thrilled with that you're doing this. Absolutely delighted that you have started this exploration of what you can do, what you can achieve, who you can be, and I wish you all the very best. See you soon.